Hello Bob, great to see you again. Let's dive right into the questions. The third week of the month is upcoming. We're used to this being a busy time in macroeconomics. Is that going to be the case during this upcoming week?
While it's quite a week ahead on the economic data front, it's a big week for the global financial markets. For the US dollar, key stats are going to be initial jobless claims and private sector PMI numbers. These are prelim figures for September. The main event of the week, however, is the FOMC monetary policy decision and, more importantly, economic projections. Obviously, the market's going to be looking to get a gauge and more clarity on when the tapering will begin and what FOMC members project on the interest rate front. For the euro, private sector PMIs for France, Germany and the Eurozone, and German business IFO business sentiment figures. These will be the key stats of the week. For the pound, also a big week. While we've got private sector PMI numbers out in the week, the Bank of England delivers its monetary policy decision. We saw some decent stats last week that suggests a more hawkish Bank of England. So will there be any dissent to drive the pound towards 1.4 levels?
What should the traders of the Aussie, Kiwi and Loonie watch?
For the Loonie, relatively quiet week. Just retail sales figures for the markets to consider. Pretty important numbers following the Bank of Canada forward guidance. So any jump in retail sales would provide the Loonie with much needed support. For the Aussie dollar, no major stats to consider. That leaves the Aussie dollar in the hands of market risk sentiment, obviously, and COVID-19 news updates from the country and any easing of lockdown measures. For the Kiwi dollar, we've got trade data due out. Expect sensitivity to these numbers. We've seen some weak numbers as a result of the latest lockdown measures. So obviously plenty of interest in the trade data as well.
What about Asian currency traders? Anything going on in China or Japan?
For the Japanese yen, quiet week ahead. Private sector PMIs, these are prelim September numbers. Obviously Japan, it continues to struggle, so there'll be plenty of interest, though we don't expect too much influence on the yen. Bank of Japan's also in action, but again, we're not expecting any surprises. So I don't think we're going to be seeing the Bank of Japan tightening policy anytime soon or making it looser. For the Chinese one, there's no major stats to consider, so nothing there to drive the financial markets in the week.
Meanwhile, is there anything going on in geopolitics which could impact the Forex market?
On the geopolitical risk front, nothing really new to report or consider. So just the usual suspects, obviously monitoring US-China relations and China's involvement in Afghanistan and the Middle East, and that goes for Russia as well. And then obviously there's Iran, the nuclear agreement and relations with the West. So those remain the key areas of focus where we need to keep monitoring.
It was great to speak to you again, Bob. We'll see you soon. Thank you for watching, and be sure to check out all of our Dukascopy social medias. Thank you and goodbye.